Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another maybe monthly vlog. This is the last vlog of 2025. It's the vlog for December. It'll be coming out on November 30th because that's Sunday. But I'm actually recording this earlier than I normally do because I've got I'll be out of town, so I won't be getting it back till Saturday night. So I need to get this recorded and uploaded so I can have it go live for you guys right before we get into December. So before we kind of get into everything we usually get into, I want to thank everybody for the continued support. We're just shy here of 1,900 subscribers, and while I don't think we'll hit 2,000 before the end of the year, I think we'll get it pretty close into next year, which is what I'm hoping for. And once that happens, we'll be doing another giveaway. As we approach that 2,000 number, we'll get more into what that giveaway is going to look like, but it'll be pretty similar to the last one I did. So more to come on that. We had a lot of stuff for new games in November. A lot of crowdfunding, Essen, Aftermath of Essen. So we've done a lot of playthroughs from Essen releases. We had the Voynich puzzle. We had Covenant. We had AR, Children of the Sun. We had Ada's Dream, Assyria 2nd Edition, which isn't from Essen. It was just happened to be crowdfunded, and I love my Garfield games. We had the Galileo Galilei expansion playthrough with the Luna expansion, and we did a playthrough, well, not an Essen release for the US, post-US, but we did Tea Garden with a solo playthrough of Tea Garden, which the expansion will have the official printed of the solo mode into it, but for now there's a print and play available officially on BGG, so we did a playthrough of that. Don't know when Tea Garden's expansion is coming to the U.S., but I'm hoping it comes faster than Tea Garden did because Capstone is publishing the U.S. publisher for it. And when they had Pirates of Maracaibo, I think it took a really long time for Pirates of Maracaibo to hit the U.S., but then post Essen from that year, but then last year Essen, I think the Commanders expansion was released. And I think it didn't take very long after that to come to the U.S. I'm hoping a similar situation there. Same with the Galileo Galilei expansion. It was the Essen release, and we have it in the U.S. already. And so I'm hoping that since they've got the main game, they can get the expansions pretty quick so far after. I don't know what... the other Essen type things, I think Sanctuary was one that I was going to get, but I didn't end up getting. I'm still debating whether or not to get that one. A Wild Venture, I think might have had Essen release, but it came out in retail here. I'm learning this one right now. I've got it on the table here. This won't be done. This will be sometime in December, obviously, because you guys are seeing this now. The solo mode is not in the box, so it's online because I think it was done up after this game was printed. So the solo mode is super easy to manage. But I played it once, so I'm trying to get through it, and then I'll be doing a video of that. So probably be soon into this week. Also in November, we had a couple games you guys voted on, which were Creature Caravan and Tekhenu. So check those out if you haven't. What else do we have? Kind of just our standard Marvel Legendary, things like that. We finished up the Moon Saga for the South Tigris series. So yeah, so just a lot of stuff going on. We're going to probably have some things to fill in some spots from the 5x5 that I stopped doing, but I have probably 6 or so videos recorded of various games, so those will be filling some spots in here or there throughout the month of December, as well as some additional playthroughs of some games. The Ada's Dream, so as of right now, I have an Ada's Dream, a second Ada's Dream playthrough. It probably will get uploaded before you see this, but if it doesn't, then it's going to get uploaded after. Kind of depends. This might get uploaded before you guys see this too. I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens. But when you use December for just some kind of catch-up, we'll be doing another playthrough of Covenant, another playthrough of AR for sure. Any other crowdfunding things that pop up, we'll probably be doing some of those. We didn't have any voting for December because I was kind of just so backed up with stuff and coming off of getting married, things like that. So we're going to be changing the poll stuff for the new year. I'll get into that as that's the main topic today, what to expect for next year. And then in December, I probably won't be doing any December. The vlog for January is going to really reflect on this year, but I think in terms of favorite games, all that stuff, I'll do my own kind of videos for that are going to be separate into January. And I won't be until probably March when I do my top 10 games of all time. as of 2025 because I want to give myself some time to play some new stuff, review my list from last year, and kind of like just really take a look and like kind of see what's going to stay there, what's moving around. I know SETI will get added. I know Ada's Dream might get added. I mean, I'm really loving Ada's Dream. So we'll see how those things go. But December is going to be a lot of, if any crowdfunding stuff comes, of course we'll see it. But it'll be a lot of kind of revisiting some of the games we just did and catching up on some things. So we'll see how that works out. But with all that said, I want today to really talk about what's going to be changing for next year. And there's a big decision I'm making that is kind of going to be there's a kind of a twofold reason on why I'm doing it, but we'll just rip the Band-Aid off. I am going to be removing Marvel Legendary as a weekly playthrough starting in 2026. This is a big deal for me because this is kind of the modern era of this channel is really about Marvel Legendary. That's really what kind of drew people back into the channel. My channel's got three kind of distinct eras. There was the cubing era. There was a video game era. There was a little bit of Call of Duty in there when I was like in end of high school into college, and then I like made a second channel for Call of Duty and took the stuff off of here, and then we kind of got back into speed cubing, and then there's a mix of that and like Smash Brothers, and I did a lot of Smash Brothers stuff. And then there's the board gaming stuff. And that's kind of where I've got most of what you guys are watching my stuff from. And Legendary really kicked that off. Nobody was doing playthroughs, so I was like, well, I'll just do this. I'm enjoying the game a ton. And while it is my favorite game of all time, I think that's easy to say. I don't even, like when I'm talking about my games of all time, Legendary is not even part of that because it's like in its section of its own. I mean, I've played it thousands of times, so it just ends up being one of those things where like, it's not fair to consider it in that conversation because it kind of just sits on its own place. But, I think especially over the past year, I think you guys have been more interested in a lot of the Euro games, which is my favorite type of game are these like medium to heavy Euro games. I like, putting workers on spots and engine building and going up tracks. And as time has gone on, just the views on those videos haven't been getting as much as they have been. I think that's it's I think a couple reasons. I think partly we haven't had any new content for Marvel Legendary for over a year. Upper Deck hasn't really communicated. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, and I'm not gonna act like I know what's going on or how hard it is for any of that stuff. So I don't want to speculate anything, but there hasn't been a lot of communication on what's coming up for Marvel Legendary. The core box, we haven't heard anything about the revision of the core box since they announced it in Gen Con of 24. So it's been like almost a year and a half since we've heard any news. And it's just one of those things where like if people aren't watching the playthroughs, if it's just like, well, I can play something else. I don't have to do that. And I think another thing, and at least this would be for me as a viewer, is if a lot of the content's unavailable, and like I'm watching them play, I'm like, why would I watch something I can't even do? I don't know. That's a weird thing to think about, but I think if I'm watching somebody play and they're like, oh, I want to play against that mastermind, I want to use that hero, and it's like, well, it's in the World War Hulk box and that's no longer in print, or it's in the Civil War box and that's no longer in print. I think that would be kind of like, why would I care what's going on if I can't even do it kind of thing. So I don't know if that's part of the reason as well. So it could be a couple different things, but I think for the time being, I'm not going to make a permanent, like, here, this Friday slot's always going to be Marvel Legendary. By the time this year ends, I'll have like 370 something plays. If you watch one playthrough a week, it's going to take you over 7 years to watch all the playthroughs I have uploaded on YouTube. I mean, it's pretty crazy how much I've played that game on YouTube. So, with all that being said, we get a core drop box, we get expansions. Of course, that stuff will be played, and we'll show all that stuff off. But I'm not going to dedicate an entire a video every week for the game. So I have a compromise on that, but that's going to lead into my other thing, which my other kind of big change is I'm going to go to 3 videos a week instead of 4 videos a week, 4 playthroughs a week. This will be the second full year of doing 4 playthroughs. My channel has just over 1,000 videos uploaded. And if I do 4 videos a week, and I know sometimes I've done more, but just 4 videos a week for 2 years straight, that's like 400 videos. So I just got the notification as of today, which is November 24th, that I'm recording this. I got the 18-year anniversary of my YouTube channel being made, and the day I made my YouTube channel was the day I uploaded my first video. So I have my YouTube channel. I've had a YouTube channel for longer than I've been for over half the time I've been alive, and I'm 34 or 33. I'm almost 34, but either way, and so 40% of the videos on my channel currently were uploaded in the last 2 years. It's just a lot, and I think it was easier to manage back in 2024 because I had a whole slot dedicated to champions and a whole slot dedicated to legendary. So it was really just filling in 2 spots because I knew that I was going to have every Tuesday was champions, every Friday was legendary, and then I could fill in those other spots with other games. And I had a lot of games I hadn't featured on the channel yet, so it ended up being like, well, I can just grab that one off, do a playthrough, so on and so forth. When I removed champions as like that permanent slot, I had to fill that with something else. And so then it ended up being the 3 games and legendary, and it ended up just being like a lot to kind of like, okay, I got to get the game out, got to, relearn it, spend the time to, I think when you see me, like especially these new games, and a lot of the games are heavy or midweight Euro games, I'm playing them like at least 3 to 4 times to kind of get the rules internalized, and then spend that playthrough, especially if it's the first one, explaining how the game works and kind of walking through everything on that playthrough. And it just ends up taking a lot of time, and then doing that 3 times a week for stuff, or even if it's a game that I own and I haven't played in a while, I've got to pull it back out, spend at least a playthrough, maybe 2 to kind of remember everything, and then I think I played Tekkenu 3 times before I recorded that video, or 2 times before I recorded that playthrough. The Creature Caravan one might have just been once because I think it was fairly easy, or maybe twice. But yeah, so it just ends up taking a lot of time, and I just want to if I'm not going to do Legendary every week, it makes it a little easier for me to kind of take that away and spend that time playing other stuff or making other videos. And so kind of my kind of tentative plan here is on just a normal week, without any exceptions, and there will be some exceptions. So it's not really cutting down to 3 videos a week. It's going to be 3 guaranteed playthroughs a week. There may be other stuff. But what kind of the plan is going to be, Monday is going to be, I don't know what to call it, but it's going to be like mini Monday or multi-Monday or modular Monday or something. But the kind of idea is to play games like a Marvel Legendary, like a Marvel Champions, like an Imperium Classics, like Astro Knights or a Final Girl or a Spirit Island or the Marvel Missions that's right there behind me. Something that's got a lot of like components and like modularity that I can switch some stuff up on. And Vantage would be another good one because it's a kind of a different thing. So a game like that where it's going to be where there's a lot of content for it, and it'll be something that we can kind of switch some things around. I can kind of play into a mood, so maybe like for a month I'll do some Marvel Champion stuff, and then I can, sit down, play with that game, play with it a few times, switch out some some heroes and some villains, and do something like that, or switch up to Final Girl and just stick with the character and try to do different scenarios with that or something. Just something that there's a lot of parts to it, a lot of things we can switch around, and kind of really play a lot of those games because I have all the Final Girl content, I have all the Spirit Island content, I have all the Marvel Champions content. And until I'm dedicating like a solid amount of time for those, I'm not really playing it a whole lot. And so I think that would give it some opportunity to see some more stuff with that. There's so much going on with those games that they just don't get seen. And I think giving a dedicated spot to something like that every week would be a lot more fun. I do get a lot of videos asking to see Imperium, Classics and Legends and Horizons. A lot of requests for that game. And I've done quite a bit on here. But again, that would be a great opportunity to okay, we're going to do a couple of videos of that. For the next couple weeks, and kind of use that spot for that thing. So that's my plan for Mondays, and then Wednesdays and Fridays will be kind of our typical Euro games, new games, playing some other games, things like that. I think that's kind of what I'm aiming for. And then anytime we kind of talk about these, they do these vlogs. Right now, some of the vlogs will land on a Sunday or a Tuesday, or to kind of take up one of the spots that I have scheduled for stuff. But I think we'll use the vlogs for the weekend. Any kind of video that's like a top 10 list or a discussion or just an unboxing or something will probably land on a weekend, or it won't take up a video slot. Not that unboxings do now, but I might throw one in on a Tuesday night if I get something I'm super excited to share, or one of those things. So that's really, we're getting the playthroughs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then kind of filling in some other stuff, things here and there. I'm also going to be changing how I want to do the polls of games. So previously, I would give 4 games. You guys would vote, and the top 2 highest voted would end up winning for a playthrough. For playthroughs, and there was always 2. That's what we did for a while. I'm going to change that. The real goal for that kind of idea is to make it a live stream, and I wanted to do a monthly live stream. That was my test run in October for Vantage, and my internet did not want to cooperate with me. My office doesn't get really good internet where the router is on Wi-Fi, and I don't really have a good way to hook it up hardline, like get the Ethernet cable over. It's just awkwardly spotted, so I've got to figure that out. But that's going to be kind of a background goal of mine, is to make the game you guys voted on a live stream. But in the meantime, that game of the month will be uploaded on Saturdays. So even if I don't get it as a live stream, it'll be a Saturday playthrough that'll get uploaded, and so that won't take up doing stuff. So at least 1 week there will be 4 playthroughs. So yeah, so that's kind of just the tentative goals there. Like I mentioned earlier, any kind of thing we talk about for top 10 lists, things like that, will come next year and come on the weekend, so they won't be taking up that spot. And with the poll, I'm going to pick 3 games, and then of those 3 games, the top 1 will get played. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So if I didn't, that's how it's going to work. So I will throw up that poll. I think I want something kind of big to start the year. So I'm looking at Galactic Cruise, Andromeda's Edge, and Anachrony. So those will be the 3. To choose one of those, we'll do a playthrough of in January. So we'll figure out that part, but that's kind of the goal there. So that's kind of some of the reasons I'm making some changes. I think I don't get to play as much just to play for myself, so I'm hoping to give that extra time back to myself to maybe get some stuff played. I like that on the channel we do a lot of playing games more than once and really showing how the games have stuff to offer. Slay the Spire is another good Monday game. But yeah, so we'll kind of see how things go. I wanted to get this out and talk about this right now. Mostly because I wanted your guys' feedback and thoughts on that. If that seems to make sense, what are the things you guys like to see me do? I'm big into gameplay and playthroughs. Like that's this kind of the main sort of hook of my channel, is to really like get these games played, show you how they work, really get into like what they can offer, and I think really appreciate and sit with some of these games because they do they cost a lot of money and they cost a lot of time, and I want to keep that movement momentum and keep moving that forward into next year. So I think that's really it. I may do some other polls here and there about some things of like, here are some games I haven't played on the channel. What would you guys like to see? Things like that, because I've got still a handful of games I haven't played that I can put on the channel. I mean, even right behind me, I can see there's like a thing of Isle of Cats I haven't done a playthrough of. I haven't done a playthrough of Argentina, which I want to do. At some point, I would like to finish my Scythe campaign, which will probably be a Monday slot as well, because it's like a continued thing. So we'll see how things go. I don't know about that for sure. But yeah, that's kind of what we've got going on next year. I really want to figure out some things to commit to, like I haven't even played Sleeping Gods. The what is it called? The second one, the one with the plane on it. So like doing a playthrough of that would be fun. So I've got to figure out what I want to do for that. But I think for right now, that's what we got going on. Mondays will be these games with a lot of modularity, and then Wednesday, Friday will be kind of what we do, and then Saturday, Sunday will be anything extra that's not going to fall on the regular schedule. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know guys your feedback on that. Into January, I'll kind of touch base on like my favorite games of 2025, like new to me games, and then probably March we'll talk about my games of all time as of this year. So we're still sitting with it. I want to do some more plays of some of the new stuff. So anyway, again, thank you guys so much for the support. We're approaching that 2,000, so when we hit that spot, we'll definitely be doing a giveaway. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.